Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977 is Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2484. We are 16 episodes away from the very special, the milestone of 2,500 episodes. My goal is to make that 2,500 episodes by either the end of my sabbatical from chilling with Jordy, Rant and Rave, and the Raw live reactions, or the third anniversary of this show coming up. And that will be because we're in the last full week of August, starting now. I gotta tell you, there's gonna be a lot I need to tell you on the Shenanigans Statements of the Statesman, that's for sure. So I'm kind of hoping to do that. So I'm kind of hoping to get 2,500 episodes by the end of the month, basically. That's what it is. So let's talk about AEW Forbidden Door. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one of the craziest events. One thing I like about watching wrestling, whether it be AEW or WWE or even TNA, you never know what kind of insanity will unfold when it comes to these wrestling companies and events. Because you never know what's going to happen. A lot of people get tribalistic nowadays, and I'm sick and tired of being that. So I say I'll watch all the organizations if I have to. You know, I haven't watched any Ring of Honor in quite a while, and I should start watching Ring of Honor. But however, though, we're going to have a little bit of fun with this, okay? And I don't know how to describe this crazy event. It went for 4.5 hours, as you know, because... So that means it ended at midnight over there, like 12:30, almost in the middle of the night, a little bit half hour past midnight in England, and right now, but here in the afternoon, basically ended at 5:30. It's crazy, you know. Started at 1. Well, it started at 11, you know, and they had 4 pre-show matches in 0 hour. We gotta go with that because, and then we got the main card to deal with. Then we got the All-Star 8-man tag team matchup. Now, the team of El Desperado representing New Japan, along with Yuya Uemura. Remember, he used to team up with Joe Hendry when they know as Joya and in TNA. And then Paragon, the team of Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, went up against the Crew, and that will be Leo Rush and Action Andretti. Also, teaming up with 2 members of the Don Callis family, Hechicero and Josh Alexander. And it was a heck of a matchup. El Desperado, Paragon, and Uemura had won the matchup, but then Lance Archer started attacking everybody after the matchup. Then Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull, came out, stood up to Lance Archer, and they beat the crap out of each other. And I'll tell you one thing, I like Tomohiro Ishii. And then Kyle O'Reilly was all fired up. Roderick Strong, let's go. Dude, you should like Tomohiro Ishii, Roderick Strong. He is about as tough and serious as anybody else. Come on. Ding dong. Anyways, next up was a trios matchup. Michael Oku, representing Rev Pro, with his lovely fiancée Amira Blair, accompanying him, and Jet Speed, the team of Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, going up against the team of Ricochet and the GOA, or I'd like to call them the What's Happening crew, because every time Ricochet laughs, he goes, ah! We think he's Roger Thomas, and that means Bishop Khan's Dwayne and Toa Leona is rerun, okay? And a lot of cheating happened in this matchup, but Ricochet and GOA ended up winning the matchup, aka the What's Happening crew. Lexington interviewed Don Callis about how important the Forbidden Door is to him. As you know, 2 of his guys defending their titles, Kyle Fletcher defending the TNT title against Hiromu Takahashi, the Time Bomb, and Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, defending his unified title against Swerve Strickland. And a little bit more in that situation. Trust me, kids. You don't want to know what happens, but you're gonna know. You're gonna find out. Anyways, the All-Star 8-woman tag team matchup as Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, Quinn Amanada, and my favorite and one of my favorite Australian wrestling women, if not my favorite, Harley Cameron, going up against the team of Megan Bayne and a Triangle of Madness. That will be the team of Tekla, Sky Blue, and Julia Hart. Heck of a matchup, but Penelope Ford gets involved during the matchup. Queen Amanada and Tekla decide to brawl to the back during the matchup. That leaves Will Nightingale, Chris Statlander, and Harley Cameron defend against Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Megan Bayne. But a misfire by Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander ended up costing them the matchup, as Harley Cameron ends up eating the pinfall for Bayne and the Triangle of Madness to pick up the victory in that matchup. Tony Schiavone interviewed, actually, the Young Bucks were interviewed by Lexi Nair, and he decided to bully a stagehand. Says, "You get this, we want the music and everything else, get all the weapons you need, you better do it or else." Young Bucks, the Beavis and Butthead of professional wrestling. You know, here's an idea, Young Bucks. You want more respect from the people? Stop sucking up to Dave Meltzer, please. Stop being jerks and stop sucking up to Dave Meltzer. Give the people what they want, and has great quality wrestling. Ding dongs. In fact, open the door for the WWE to come in and fight you guys. Jeepers. So I want to see I want to see Dominic Mysterio defend the Intercontinental title against MJF. I want MJF and Logan Paul to team up against the Hurt Syndicate, because I want to see the Hurt Syndicate beat the crap out of those two jerks. Anyway, might I digress? Let's move on, okay? And then Tony Schiavone interviewed Dr. Martha Hart, Oji Hart, and Tony Khan. And Dr. Martha Hart is rooting for Hangman Adam Page to beat the snuffing out of MJF. Good. Then the Trios title on the line, the Ops. That will be the team of the Trios champion Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata going up against the Bullet Club War Dogs led by Clark Connors, Drilla Maloney, and Robbie X. Heck of a matchup, and the Ops end up retaining the Trios titles. Let's go to the main event, main card, I should say. Not the main event, the main card of Forbidden Door 2025. We got the newly reunited team of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, maybe a one night only, who knows? And they went up against Killswitch and Kip Sabian. It seems like Killswitch is, you know what I'm thinking? Killswitch is getting sick and tired of being told what to do. And you know the problem is, he's a big guy. Little guys like Kip Sabian, weak guys like Kip Sabian will take advantage of that and exploit that. And that's been the problem. If I were Killswitch, I would say, I'm sick and tired of people telling me what to do. I'm going to do my thing on my own. And then all y'all can go shop at Kmart. And I don't know why I keep saying that. Anyways, Copeland and Cage ended up winning the matchup. You know, Copeland and Cage, the CNC Tag Team Factory. That's for sure. You got the CNC Music Factory. Why not the CNC Tag Team Factory of Copeland and Cage? That'd be a catchy name. Who knows? I once called Cedric Alexander, or Caprice Coleman, and I think Cedric Alexander, I think. They wouldn't. I call them the CNC Wrestling Factory. So, yeah, why the heck not, right? Anyways, the TNT title on the line. Kyle Fletcher defending the title. The Proto Star defending the title against the Time Bomb, Hiromu Takahashi. And Walker Stewart and Don Callis join the commentary. Walker Stewart does the English language color commentary for New Japan Wrestling, which is really cool. Walker Stewart, man, I hear on the mic, I said, very unique guy. He should be the future of wrestling broadcasting. And a heck of a matchup, Kyle Fletcher ended up winning the matchup and retaining the TNT title. TBS title on the line in this matchup, as Mercedes Moné defends it against Alex Windsor from AEW, Bozilla from Stardom, and Persephone from CMLL. Now, if you look at Bozilla, she's 6 foot tall, all right? The woman is only 21 years old, and she's a second-generation wrestler. I think Ulf Herman was her father and was a professional wrestler. She's from Germany. Be on the lookout for Bozilla. If she decides to run over Stardom, I would not be surprised if she ends up signing with AEW. And if AEW does not pick her up, I'm sure the WWE will capitalize. Imagine Bozilla against Nia Jax, or Bozilla against Last Legend, or Bozilla against Piper Niven, or Bozilla against Jade Cargill. I don't know, but anyways, but if she goes to AEW, Bozilla versus Megan Bayne, that'll be a heck of a match to watch. Or Chris Statlander versus Bozilla. I don't know. Watch out for Bozilla in the future. And she was a very powerful lady, but Mercedes Moné ends up retaining the title by hook or by crook. I don't know how, but Mercedes Moné is still the TBS champion, and she's still 9 belts Moné. That's right, Moné has many belts as Ultimo Dragon did when he made his debut in WCW. And that was back in the 90s, for goodness sake, so there's that. And the IWGP World Heavyweight title on the line, Zack Sabre Jr. to defend it against Nigel McGuinness. Heck of a match between these two gentlemen. In attendance, former NXT UK General Manager Johnny Saint was there, and legendary British wrestler Marty Jones. And Zack Sabre Jr. ended up winning the matchup. The two shook hands and they hugged. And Daniel Garcia gave him some props and hugged too. Maybe, I'll tell you one thing. I think Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel McGuinness, a little respect. Heck of a matchup that was. Meanwhile, Tony Schiavone addresses the London crowd. The attendance record, shy under 19,000. That's right, 18,992 in the O2. And Tekla and Amanada still beating the crap out of each other from their previous matchup in the 0 hour. They're brawling in the back. They fight out here. And then Sky Blue and Julia Hart decide to help out Tekla once again. But then Jamie Hayter made her return from injury to help out Queen Amanada. So that means you get Queen Amanada, Will Nightingale, and Jamie Hayter. Will Nightingale and Chris Statlander are going to go at it again. I wouldn't be surprised if Harley Cameron probably would step up to the plate once again. Then there comes the AEW Tag Team titles on the line. The Hurt Syndicate against FTR and Bro Dito. And during the match, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony attacking the Hurt Syndicate. I don't know how wise that was on their behalf. That left FTR and Bro Dito, that's the team of Brody King, and the Ring of Honor World Champion, Heavyweight Champion, Bandito. And ladies and gentlemen, we have new AEW World Tag Team Champions, the team of Brody King and Bandito. That means Bandito is a double champion now. So congratulations to Brodito. That's right, and I'm happy for Brody King. Brody King's a big man with a bright future, dude. I'll tell you what, man. I gotta like Brody King, man. You got the way he moves in the ring. Too bad he didn't go with Aleister Black to the WWE, because you know what? I always want to see him and Eric Rowan go one-on-one or something. Brody King could. Brody King could also fit right into the Wyatt 6 if need be, but no, he's happy in AEW doing his thing, and I like it, so I dig that. So let's rock and roll with that, shall we? So congratulations to Brodito. They are your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. And I'm sure Hurt Syndicate's going to have a bone to pick with Ricochet and the GOA, a.k.a. the What's Happening crew. Anyways, unified title on the line as Kazuchika Okada will defend the title against Clore Strickland, Prince Nana barred from ringside. But Jim Ross joins on commentary. Haven't seen him in a while. And Don Callis once again on commentary. That hot dog head gets away with everything. Broadcast journalist. And the way he's like, shut up. Anyways. And heck of a matchup, though. Okada retains the title. Okada decided to attack Swerve after the match with the steel chair, and then Prince Nana comes after Okada with a lead pipe. And as Prince Nana was checking on Swerve Strickland, a shocking return in over a year. Wardlow comes in, attacks Prince Nana, while Swerve Strickland was too defenseless to help out Nana. And then security decided to pry Wardlow off Prince Nana. And then he starts fighting off security, jumps to the ring, and guess what? It was Don Callis who made that insurance policy, and Wardlow has joined the Don Callis family. Come on, Don Callis. How many guys are you going to hide behind? One of these days, each of them, you have, who do they got? Hechicero. They got basically RPG Vice. I know Trent Beretta's probably hurt right now, so that's three members right there. You got Lance Archer. I think Brian Cage is still hurt. I wouldn't be surprised if Trent Beretta and Brian Cage are out, so that's 5. And then you got you got Josh Alexander, that's 6. Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita. That means Wardlow is the 9th member. They got 9 members. 9 members. Now, technically, it'll be 7 active because you got Brian Cage hurt and possibly Trent Beretta hurt and inactive. So, total of 9 members. There's too many. 2 members too many. Don Callis going to have to make a decision. You know? You get Konosuke. Did I get Don Konosuke Takeshita already? All right. So, 9 members. 9, 10 members? Oh, man. Don Callis, what is he doing? What is he doing? How much money he has to spread around? Cheapest. Anyways. So, the AEW Women's World title on the line as another of my favorite Aussie Angels. That's what I like to call her. Timeless one, Toni Storm against Athena. Now, I picked Athena to win the match because I figured what happened this past Wednesday, it would have an adverse effect on Toni Storm and her ability to perform in the ring and do her thing. And Timeless Toni Storm, she is probably the most resilient champion. I always have a lot of respect for her and admiration for her. I'm showing her a lot more respect because this woman is not giving up. She wants to show that she's going to be one of the greatest AEW Women's Champions of all time. I would not be surprised if AEW can't afford her and she ends up going back to the WWE. She's going to be a different person. One of these days, not right now. It's not a rumor or anything like that. It's not. Take this thing off. If she ever thinks about changing her mind about the WWE and she goes back, she's going to come back different. She's going to be more determined to prove herself in the WWE. You know, with the Women's Intercontinental title and United States titles, I think Toni Storm could have more of a huge opportunity there as well. So that was the problem, because when she was working for the WWE first time around, she didn't have a whole lot of opportunities, and they couldn't do a whole lot with her because of Vince McMahon. I'm telling you, with Triple H at the helm of the creative team now and everything else, things could be different. But right now, Toni Storm's in AEW. Like I said, she's staying there, doing her thing. In AEW, she's a 4-time women's champion, one of the best. Billy Strikes tried to get involved during the match, but then the lovely, one of my favorite Japanese ladies, Mina Shirakawa, got involved and made sure that, and decided to chase Starks to the back. And so, Storm retains the title. Who is next for Toni Storm now? Will it be a rematch with Mercedes Moné down the road? Will Megan Bayne get another shot at the title? I don't know. But one thing's for sure. Toni Storm pretty soon, that the pressure could be on. You can see the return of Jamie. You got the return of Jamie Hayter. You got the Triangle Madness causing a lot of havoc. And who knows? Who knows for sure? And I think Athena should be worrying about now focusing. She's according to Tony, she's only 12 days shy of reaching 1,000 days as reign. In fact, this coming Friday, she'll be defending that ROH Women's Championship against the lovely Mina Shirakawa, who's also the interim Women's Television Champion. But is she still recognized as such, or is Red Velvet clear enough and become the undisputed champion? We'll find out as we go along here. So, the AEW World title on the line. Hangman Adam Page defending it against MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman is trying so hard to win that title. He wasn't doing whatever it takes. He was trying to get Page to use the Dynamite Diamond ring, and he tried everything else, and he low blowed he low-blowed Hangman Adam Page. He originally pinned Hangman Adam Page, but Adam Page's foot was on the ropes. Bryce Remsburg, the referee, did not see it. But then Mark Briscoe comes out to make sure, and he's like, and the security was intercepted him, thinking that he might go after MJF. But I'm trying to tell the referee that Hayes' foot of Bryce Remsburg notices it. It said the match continues on. MJF's begging him, and then all of a sudden the argument continues. Referee wasn't looking. And Hangman Adam Page used the contract to nail MJF without the referee looking, and ended up hitting the buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page retains the championship. And that's a huge deal. A very huge deal. And so Bryan Danielson, who has been on commentary throughout the entire event, except for the main event, he decided to excuse himself from it because of the personal vendetta issues with the Death Riders and such. And so Bryan Danielson was being a professional about it. And so, and then there was a lights out steel cage match of Darby Allin, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, a.k.a. the Golden Lovers between the two of them. Will Ospreay and the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, to go up against the Death Riders. That will be Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, and Gabe Kidd of the Bullet Club War Dogs. And the Young Bucks came out and they said, we want our old music played. And all of a sudden they end up playing Bop by Hanson, which I thought that was hilarious. And I like Bop. It was a fun song, you know. I like the dub remix that I have on CD, but still. Bop, and Kenny Omega's dancing and Will Ospreay, everybody having fun. So that was hilarious. And during the matchup, this lights out steel cage match was insane. Ladies and gentlemen, you ever thought about, Jon Moxley was getting in touch with his inner Abdullah the Butcher, okay? The dude grabs a fork and jams it into Darby Allin's ear, and like all the blood gushing out of the whole dang thing, But there was a funny moment that happened during that match as well. The Young Bucks thought they had a bag of thumbtacks and all. They pull it out, somebody put gummy bears on the stinking thing, inside the stinking bag. And they're getting slammed, getting shoved it down their throats and all that. They're eating them. Some of the opposition was eating them, having fun with the gummy bears. I'm like, oh gosh. And I said to myself, good thing they weren't the Dippin' Dots, because I know Jim Ross came out to do the the main event, and because I imagine Jim Ross saying, not the Dippin' Dots. But it was gummy bears. I can't believe gummy bears were involved in this matchup. Now we've seen everything, But heaven forbid they use an NES system in there, I think somebody used a Sega Dreamcast once during a wrestling matchup, I think. Who knows for sure. Anyways, don't use the NES. Why not? It's a 40th anniversary. We don't destroy a priceless, timeless thing. Anyways, well, in the end, after Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd went through 2 stacked tables, Gabe Kidd and Jon Moxley were outside the ring while Darby Allin was outside the ring. It was a 2-on-1 outside, but meanwhile, it was a 4-on-3 situation. And Darby Allin, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, and Hiroshi Tanahashi pick up the victory in this matchup. But the Death Riders said to attack Ospreay after the matchup, and then while that's going on, because everybody else was outside the ring, they're trying to climb back in the ring and such. The Ops try to charge the ring, and they're attacking Will Ospreay, and they stomped a chair on him and stuff on his neck and everything else. And once the cage was raised, finally, the Ops came in with chairs. They started chase the Death Riders and Young Bucks and Gabe Kidd away as everybody retreated. And the winning team and the Ops was checking out Will Ospreay. Hopefully Will Ospreay will be okay. I know he says he's going to need surgery. And I'll tell you, it's going to be insane. Well, that is it for episode 2484. Of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977 AEW Forbidden Door pay-per-view 2025 Event Center. I'm telling you, it was the most insane thing I have ever seen. How is NXT Heatwave going to top that? Well, we'll find out tonight. As NXT Heatwave will be on about less than an hour. So now we'll make my report on that afterwards. In my Event Center report, we'll be done there. So, and it'll be down to 15 episodes left, up until 2,500 episodes. let's go to it. Knuckle under, knuckle up. We're going to have a little fun. I'm going to upload this video. Tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, tonight, NXT Heatwave. We'll talk about what happens there. Also, after NXT Heatwave, we get the... Now, as you know, this coming all this week long, it's the final full week of August. The final flash game show gameplays of August 2025. Next Sunday will be the Shenanigans statements of the Statesman. I'm going to make that statement for about August 2025. And then September will be officially here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have some fun. All right, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Enjoy NXT Heatwave if you're going to watch it. I know I'm going to watch it myself. And I will see you guys later. So until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production. And in association with... A Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.